Very good evening to our viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight on the evening review. My name is Tevo Njebela. Tonight on the platform we are joined by Sioni Iikela. He is a dean at the International University of Management in the Environmental and Tourism Studies faculty. But perhaps the fitting capacity tonight is that he is the deputy chairperson of the local organizing committee for the upcoming Regional Universities Forum for Capacity Building in Agriculture, which is going to have its conference very soon, and he is here to talk about that. Thank you, Mr. Iikela, for making time. It's a very interesting event that you have lined up. Maybe you can give us a sense of the broad picture of what it is about.
Thank you very much, Njebela, for having me, and greetings to the Namibians. Talking to the Namibians in the year when drought is severe, is actually one is expected to bring hope to the nation, in the sense that this year we are hosting a very huge conference that is bringing together delegates from over 170 universities across Africa, from 40 African countries. And this event is hosted by the Namibian government, which is the main sponsor of the conference, and is co-organized by a number of institutions, especially the member universities, that is IUM, UNAM, and NAST, which is going to be admitted or accepted as a new member during this conference in Namibia, and also NCRST. We are all co-organizing this event on behalf of the government. The event is going to be predominantly dominated by discussion or conversation around agriculture, but it will also zoom into the issue of environment, water, climate change, and how agriculture can contribute to the agenda of addressing unemployment in Africa in general and Namibia in particular. But then the main focus of this event is really how Africa can bring in the issue of digitalization, the technology, innovation, and the research, because the challenges that we are facing because of climate change that Mother Nature is exposing us to requires us really to do applied research in order for us to come up with mitigation measures that can help our people to be resilient against the impact of climate change.
And I think given that background, the conference couldn't be hosted by a better host than Namibia, that is actually a persistent victim of those conditions that you just mentioned. Climate change, we always have drought here, rain is not coming. We see perhaps elements of climate change also descending upon us in many ways and not. Maybe if you can emphasize the symbolic importance of Namibia hosting this event.
Yes, Njebela, this event indeed could not come at a better time, because already our government have declared the state of emergency because of drought. And really, as a local organizing committee, we ensured that we pay a special focus on the issue of drought, That's why during the event, one of the activity, the side event activity we are going to do is a side event on water and drought that is organized by Ministry of Agriculture. And this will happen on the 15th of August at Mercure Hotel. So the focus will be really on what is that the country need to do to make sure that we prepare better for the events like this, because droughts is a reoccurring event, and sometimes it can even persist over a prolonged period of time. Therefore, really, we felt it is important that we have an event that is speaking to our situation as a country, and that is the issue of water and drought. Of course, there will be interesting discussion, panel discussion. The Ministry of Agriculture is preparing a read paper that will really open the engagement of various panelists from organizations and institutions that are dealing with issues related to water, and those that are responsible to make sure that the country is coming up with measures, mitigation measures, that is to help our people to adapt to the situation we are facing. Really, we have to thank the Minister of Agriculture, because they have even contributed financially toward this hosting of this event as part of the government PEC. And we are really very much happy with the support they are giving us, the scientific assistance they are giving, and one of the key role they have played is to identify Namibian farmers that are going to be awarded during this conference. So these farmers are farmers that are doing very well in terms of using scientific skills or indigenous skills or any other innovative ways in dealing with the practices they are using in farming out there in our country.
I see the document here talks about the urgent need for African governments, development partners, private sector, and citizens to take action, especially on investing in higher education in order to produce, I suppose, skills and capacity that are needed to produce these sustainable ways of dealing with the issues that you mentioned. In other words, to say, how does IUM, NAST, UNAM, and other African universities, how can they produce the necessary skills to combat these challenges that we have? How important is it that our universities actually deal, especially for your university where you are the dean of that particular faculty, that it produces skills that are needed to combat these kind of conditions?
Yes, when the universities are developing qualifications, first they have to do what is called need analysis. That is to check what is that the country need in terms of skill. Then they benchmark with other universities, be it locally or at a continental level or at international level, so that they make sure that what we offer, while it meets the need of the country, it is not cut from the global village. As we speak now, the world is looked as one. Therefore, the knowledge that we are imparting to our people should be relevant so that it responds to the need and aspiration of the nation, that is Namibia. But we should be able to produce people that can go out there and find a niche out there in terms of work or coming up with businesses. You see, we are at an era where we are actually saying we must silence guns in our continent and make Africa green. So now, to do this, we need to make sure that we train our people. When they are trained, they are given skills that when they go out there, they are able to do what we call applied research, so that they come up with innovative ways on how to do agriculture. And when they do agriculture that is not damaging the environment. And this is this is the type of the conversation we are going to have during this conference. Actually, it will be a whole week of scientific conversation where people from different background in the area of agriculture, environment, water converge and discuss. And one of the things we are expecting to come out is actually what we are expecting is the Windhoek Declaration that will actually guide African countries going forward in terms of dealing with the critical issue, which is drought, and ensure that we produce enough food for our people, and make sure that people actually move away from conventional agriculture to what we call this side of Africa, we call it conservation agriculture, while at the northern side of Africa, they call it regenerative agriculture. So the agriculture that is not damaging the environment, but make sure that people, no one is dying from hunger.
There was a very interesting article that I read yesterday, talking about which country is it in Asia? I can't remember the country now, but it's one of those high-level economies, which says that they are scientists. They have a national scientific body that has now apparently approved that 6 insect species have been approved as edible. They can be eaten, and it's part of the ways to combat hunger, to say yes. And I even tweeted about it, saying, look, maybe in Namibia we must also look at which other insects can we eat apart from those that we eat already.
Yes.
But it will need scientific input for us to do that. So, for example, I read also a report this last week about NamWater here and I think Swakop Uranium, Hosab Mine, working to collaborate on a desalination plant. Because of the conditions of the climate in our country. And we know also, for example, that Botswana and Namibia are contemplating a pipeline that will go all the way from the sea to Botswana to bring water there. Are these kind of the kind of conversations and collaborations that a conference like this wants to achieve?
Yeah, actually, conferences like this, one thing I did not mention is that this conference is bringing together around 1,000 delegates. That is including the one that are from outside our border and the one from within our border. So there will be serious conversation, and the water form part of it. In fact, Namibia by now, we were not supposed to have a problem of drought because we are blessed with the whole coastline, which is ocean, with a lot of water. So what we could have done is to invest into desalination plants so that we pump water into our inland. Then we move away from rain-fed agriculture into irrigation. So because when you are able to irrigate, then you do not depend on rainfall. Because even if it doesn't rain, you are able to produce food for livestock, and you are able to produce food for human consumption. And you have enough water to water your plants and also to water your livestock, to give your livestock to drink. So, these are some of the conversation we are going to have, especially the day we are going to have a side event on water and drought. Of course, discoveries. I want to speak to the insect we spoke to. Discoveries in our era is very rare. I don't know, maybe we are not doing enough research, so much so that a decade can pass without any discovery of a new thing. I was actually teasing my fellow colleagues that us, especially the Oshuambo speaking, that eat frogs. We have been eating frogs for many years, and we could not discover a frog that was recently discovered by somebody from Europe. And it doesn't mean that we don't know this frog. That frog has been there. People have been eating frogs. But then nobody locally could notice that there are two different types of frogs. Maybe we know, but out of ignorance, nobody could take interest into really identifying these two types of frogs and come up with a name. Now our local frog in this time is named after somebody from Europe, because in this scientific name, always the name of the discover features there. So really, this will be a platform of forming collaboration, because people will be able to network and form or meet new people that they have not met before. I can tell you, I traveled for this event in Benin in 2021. Then I traveled to Cameroon last year for the same event at the RUFORUM. And it's a very good platform, both for learning and also for meeting people, experts. I think top-notch experts. I think Africa really have everything we need, but maybe we are not utilizing it. And RUFORUM is really a platform that Africa needs to cherish, because it brings almost the whole continent. Just imagine, out of 54 African countries, 40 African countries will be represented in Windhoek, Namibia, for the whole week. Just imagine what type of conversation we are going to have, top-notch. But what is important is, this top-notch conversation going to produce something practical that us as individuals and as countries can take home and implement. So because there will also be discussion, policy matters discussion. Politicians from African countries will also be gathering here. Another funding partners, they will also be here. Are we going to use this platform to come up with something that is going to work? Or it's just going to be another gathering where we come together, we make noise, and we go back to our countries without doing anything? But my hope is we come, we discuss, we go back to our countries and begin to implement what we discussed in Windhoek for the whole week. In fact, there are already pre-conference events happening in our country, and this is in terms of training. People are being trained on how to handle data and analyze them. There is also entrepreneurship training. There is also training on leadership, training on young scientists, because we want to inspire research. Because a country without researchers, that country is bound to make decisions that are not well informed. But what is important to note is that do people that deals with policy and decision consider the outcomes of those research?
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned having attended in Benin and Cameroon. Is there any practical solutions that you think have emerged out of those conferences that have, or has it remained a talk shop, like you are trying to say that you don't want the Windhoek event to be a talk shop?
Okay, one of the things that I really picked at this platform is that the emphasis the universities need to put on agriculture and train people on practical knowledge and skills.
Yeah.
And our local universities, I think they are doing that. For now, I can give an example of a qualification that we are offering at IUM. We have conservation agriculture that is really training people on how to move away a bit from conventional agriculture without divorcing indigenous knowledge, but also incorporating agriculture that is modern in terms of technology and research. And UNAM is also a good example. They are actually having some good project they are running through RUFORUM at New Dam. They are actually doing some practical things that our country or people need to be proud of. Just I think early this year, I saw them. They were doing some potato harvest. It's actually a good thing, and this is practical. People are being trained to do practical things, and I think that is what was emphasized both in Benin and Cameroon. But now the emphasis during this conference will be on innovation and technology.
Yeah.
So, which means that we should be innovative in terms of if we want to adapt to the situation we are facing. One thing that I am actually happy about this conference is that the whole week we are going to be seized with scientific talk.
Yeah.
We are going to speak scientifically. We are going to come up with solutions that are of scientific nature yet practical.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Give me your the last question to you, details around the date, the venue, and anything related to that.
Okay. The main conference will start on the 12th until the 16th of August. The venue will be at Mekua Hotel, even though there are side events that are going to happen at many places in Windhoek. So the official opening will be on the 12th, and the president, Dr. Nagoro Buba, will be the main speaker, will officiate at the opening. The vice president, Honorable Netubo Nandi Daitwa, will also be in attendance. Then the event ran throughout the week, and then the Prime Minister will come cross off. That is Dr. Sarah Kuangra Madira will come cross off on the crossing day. This week, on the 8th, we have a Namibia Higher Education Day that will feature interesting discussion on the impact of higher education in agriculture. It will happen at UNAM, and the Prime Minister will also officiate there, and the Minister of Higher Education, Honorable Kaji Murangi, will be playing a major role at at this day, because our government is actually sponsoring this through Ministry of Higher Education. Okay. And this is the education that is inspiring research and innovation in our country. So therefore, the minister has got a mammoth role to play in this event.
Absolutely. No, thank you, Mr. Iikela, for coming through. I think for our viewers, it's just important to read out the theme for this year's event, which is operationalizing higher agricultural education and research ecosystem for innovation, industrialization, and economic development in Africa, a call for action. Thank you, sir, for coming, and all the best for your event.
Thank you very much, and I wish all the scientists that are going to converge in Windhoek from the 12th to the 16th of August, all the best, not of luck, but all the best of good thing, of good conversation, of coming up with practical measures that will help Africa moving forward.
Absolutely.
From now on.
Until
2063, apparently the Africa we need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That is tonight's show with Sioni Iikela. Thank you for watching.